You guys, we can be whoever we want to be, and we are meant to be all the things and experiment and not be tied down or put in a box, because at the end of the day, we're infinite. We are limitless, and it's only illusion that we think that we're not. So let's get out of the fucking box. That's how we play the game. The game of life is to have the new experiences, to push ourselves into new experiences so we can think differently, so we can expand, so we can live the life we want to. Hello, friends. Happy Tuesday, or whatever day you're listening to this on. Welcome back to the Fluidity Podcast. If you're new here, my name is Hannah. And all right, guys, we're going to try something a little bit new today. I wanted to start off the podcast with a oracle card reading. I've been really into them lately, and yeah, I'm just gonna see what comes through. And shout out to my older sister. She got me these beautiful cards. I think it was about Christmas time. Last Christmas? Not really sure. So let's see. My spirit guides, what wants to come through for this reading? For anyone that needs to hear this message. Blame. I accept. Can I speak? Blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. Wow, that's actually a perfect card. That's what I pulled, if you guys can see it. That hits true with me, at least. I don't know if anyone else needed to hear that, but I'm going to say it again. Blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. So this is really what I'm getting from this card, is getting out of the victim consciousness and really taking responsibility for our well-being, because at the end of the day, the only one responsible for our thoughts, actions, beliefs is us. So if we're not happy in our life, if something's not going the way we want, or the only person we can look at is ourselves. And this really rings true to me today, because I feel like we're always trying to look outside of ourselves for the answer, for someone to save us. But in a sense, we are meant to save ourselves, and the only person truly that can save us is ourselves. And how liberating is that to know that, but also what a big responsibility that is. And to accept that responsibility and not take it lightly. That was beautiful. Thank you, spirit guides, higher self. Beautiful card. So whoever needs to hear that, take it in and know that it's never a judgment. This card isn't saying to put judgment on yourself. It is to really just know that you had the responsibility for your well-being, and taking responsibility for you, your thoughts, your actions, your emotions, and knowing that you have complete control over them. And I know for some people it might be a trigger, because we're like, of course, if I don't want to be feeling these feelings, I wouldn't. But I'd like you to just sit with that and ask yourself, why am I choosing to feel like this? Why? Because at the end of the day, again, it's your choice. And if you're not feeling the things that you want to feel, you have the power to change them. It's not easy. It's not a road for the lighthearted, but I believe that it's literally the only road to take. And I think that's why we're all here, is to take responsibility for our well-being and live a life that we choose, that we want. And yeah, that fits perfectly in today, actually. So first oracle card reading was a freaking success. I think that fits in really nicely. Yeah, wow. So I'm just reflecting a second. Yeah, so today is really free-flowing. I am just going to chit-chat with you friends. I do have a potential guest that I'm going to be bringing on for you guys. I'm super excited. The only thing I am waiting on is like where and how to set up it's going to be like an in-person interview. So yeah, I'll figure it out. But anyway, that's to come. Today's quote is one that has been very close to me. The first time I heard it, I didn't even realize that it was speaking to me. I was letting this quote, like I was judging other people. I was saying this quote to other people almost in judgment. And really that judgment it was about myself. But now that I have the awareness and understand really what this quote means, I think it fits very well into what has been going on lately, not only in myself, maybe in anyone who's watching as well, because obviously you are drawn to this podcast for a reason. I'm just going to get in the quote and then we'll explain. One definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing and expect different results. I'm going to say that one more time, friends. One definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing and expect different results. That quote is by Stephen R. Covey. We get stuck in patterns and stuck in old ways of doing things. And I feel we get frustrated because we think that nothing's working or nothing's happening and we're working towards something. But at the end of the day, if we keep working towards something and we're doing the same things day in, day out, and nothing's changing, there's some things that take time, obviously. There are some, like a meditation practice, that takes time, and you can gain something every day that you do it. There's always a new insight. And with meditation, there's not really an end goal, right? So this is more of the big things in life that we feel like we're not moving. We feel like our mindset is really stagnant. We feel like our career is not going anywhere. We feel like our life is stagnant. That's what I'm speaking about. That's what I'm talking about today is, we just feel super stuck in our life or a relationship or a friendship. And we want different results, but we keep doing the same thing. And this quote really says it so beautifully. It is insanity to think that doing something the same way is going to get a different result. If we don't like the result that we're getting, then there's only one option. That's to change what we're doing. I want to shift gears and talk about new experiences. And this, I'm just going to speak on my own experience because that's the only thing I can speak on. And hopefully this can help someone else. I was in a rut of being frustrated with my life and just feeling like I was going nowhere. Whenever I feel like that, it's usually a time to change something up, to take some action. And usually when I'm feeling super frustrated, it's because there is an action or something I'm being called to do that I'm not doing. New experiences and just stepping out of my normal of the things that are not working and just not being afraid to try new things and scrap the things that don't work. A lot of that has to do with like new experiences, because if we keep having the same experiences, we're going to keep thinking the same way. We're going to keep acting the same way, having the same emotions. But when we step out of our normal, if again, we're not liking the results we're getting, I found in making different choices that lead to a different action that then lead to a different experience has catapulted me to places that I wouldn't have gotten to if I didn't make a different choice, do a different action, and then have a new experience. New experiences, let me backtrack. I was watching it's on Gaia, the Rewired by Joe Dispenza, his little mini series. I only watched one episode, but it reminded me of what I was going to be talking about today. It feels very charged right now. So whoever needs to hear this is for you. And this is something I would have needed to hear probably about a year ago. But just getting in the habit of taking new action to have a new experience transforms your life. The more action you take and the new experiences you have, the different thoughts you will have, and you will not feel as stagnant anymore. I feel like, especially for me, I would get stuck in doing the same thing because I didn't want to be wrong. I would still be doing the same thing and not want to admit that thing was not working anymore. So I just keep doing it because I'm like, oh, if I try something different, then all the work that I've been doing or all the things I've been doing for this one thing I'll just be wasting time. But really, you wouldn't have known the new thing to do if you didn't do that old thing that now isn't working. Does that make sense? So it's all about experimenting and seeing where things take you, and things, just because things end doesn't mean that was a mistake. You needed to do that thing to get to the next thing. And it's okay to let things go. And again, to have new experiences, because all those new experiences will lead you to the next thing and then to the next thing. And then you'll learn the next lesson. But yeah, so just put yourself freaking out there. I got stuck in this loop a couple years ago when I was at the gym. I was keep doing the same result and I kept feeling the same way and I kept feeling stuck. But I was like, if I just keep doing the same thing, and I probably stayed in that job a little longer than I would have done now, but I didn't know this back then. So it's to really dig deep and to think, what do I want? What am I doing here? It can be really scary when we don't know what's going to be on the other side. So I think that's why we stick to what we know, what we've been doing, because we know what the result's going to be. So we would rather know what the result's going to be than to take a chance and have an unknown result. But that's how we play the game of life, is to have the new experiences, to push ourselves into new experiences so we can think differently, so we can expand, so we can live the life we want to. And when we keep playing small because we're scared of the unknown, which is basically what I was scared of, is, and I'm still dealing with that now, is we're scared of the unknown because we put so much negative energy on what might be instead of saying whatever's going to be is going to be the best thing and the best thing for me. I think I like a lot of us are really scared of the unknown. And when we think about it and when we really get to the core, it's like we're the one making the problem. We're the one, like, when we don't want to do something new is because we're scared of what's going to happen. But would we rather stay where we're at and keep getting the result we know we don't like? So like it's one or the other. And obviously we're going to, or hopefully if you want to expand and live this beautiful life, take the new experiences, because you don't want to be settling for something that is not what you want. Be honest with yourself. If the result you're getting is not what you want, fucking change it. And this is not me putting judgment on you, because I've done this my whole fucking life until now. And guess what? It's not easy to make the choice to change. I'm not putting this lightly, because the choices I've made in the last couple months or even the last couple weeks, I'm changing a lot of stuff and it's scary. And when I think about the choices, like would I stay where I was at? It doesn't even feel like a choice at that point, because no, I'm not settling for where I was, because I know that there's more. And then to choose this new thing, but also watch out for when you choose that new thing, you then are still stuck in the old mindset of worrying about the future and worrying that the unknown is going to be something bad. You're making a problem out of nothing. And then you'll get back in that cycle of making new choices are bad, having new experiences are bad. I don't like the unknown. You're going to train your mind into thinking that choosing something new, choosing something different, expanding yourself is not a good thing. So to really work with yourself and be super compassionate with yourself, I think is really big. To know that new experiences are going to lead you to things that you never would have even imagined. And when we really let go and let the universe guide us and not control so much, we get so much surprise and so much joy in the journey. And when we unattach from the outcome, that's when the magic happens and we can truly enjoy the journey, because that's what it is. I also just want to remind you guys that it's okay to get tripped up by yourself sometimes and to not be super hard on yourself. I'm learning to do that as well, so hopefully you guys can learn with me. So just not be so hard on yourself, and know that if you make a mistake, you learn from it. That's how we learn. And I want to tell you guys that I am doing my human design certification, and I've always been really into human design, but I'm just now getting really deep into it. In my human design, especially in my profile, I'm a 3/5, and it's all about experiencing and trial and error. And so for me, that's really big. And to know your human design, that helps so much to understand yourself. I will be doing readings very soon. So if you're interested, you can get on my wait list. I will I'll have you guys DM me or whatnot if you're interested in having a human design reading. But this podcast is not about that. Yeah. So, for example, putting yourself out there and almost like a trust fall into the universe. Because if you're honest with yourself and you're not happy where you're at, you don't have a choice. Because we're not going to settle where we know we're not meant to be. And for a long time, I was like, am I just not grateful? Is there something wrong with me? No, there was nothing wrong with me. It was my soul itching to grow, to expand. And some people are happy where they're at. And that's awesome. Everyone's journey is different. But if you know deep down, and you'll know, whoever's watching this, you will know when you're meant for more and you're being stopped by your limiting beliefs or what other story you're telling yourself. So you know that this is not where you're meant to be. And so there's no choice to settle. The other choice is to make new choices and have new experiences and put yourself freaking out there. Try the thing. So yeah, this is your sign to try the thing that you've been not doing. Put yourself out there. I also just want to give you guys a little bit update. I'm putting myself out there. I'm not just telling you guys to do things that I'm not doing. All this to say is I'm right there with you. I'm putting myself out there with you guys. I am going to Arizona in about 2 days. This is a solo trip. I have traveled alone before for my other job, but that was, I had to go. It wasn't my choosing. This trip is a solo trip by myself, and I'm doing a 1-day breath work retreat in Arizona with Awakened Breath Work. I don't know if you guys know Awakened Breath Work. Love it. So yeah, I'm really putting myself out there. If you would have told me just even a year ago that I'd travel alone and do this breath work workshop by myself, I would have laughed in your face. But putting yourself out there and trying new things and having new experiences is meant for us to grow and how we get to the next level. Just living life to the freaking fullest. And I'm not that I'm nervous, but I feel like we get in this culture of never doing things by yourself. I never did things by myself. And I felt like I always needed someone to go with or to be with because they're like your safety blanket. But to step out of your comfort zone and do something that's not the norm and something that scares you a little bit, that's how we freaking grow. And that's how we have those experiences that we would have never had if we didn't try. And meeting new people and having new experiences is how we evolve and how we have new thoughts and how we then act differently, and then our life looks different. So it all starts with making a different choice. Yeah, I am excited to give you guys a recap on the next episode. I will give you guys a recap and I'll tell you guys all the fun things I did and how amazing my trip was. And yeah, this is your sign to do the thing that you have been holding yourself back from because of a limiting story that doesn't even make sense anymore. And to know that you are responsible for your well-being. If you are in a situation that you don't like, you keep getting a result that you don't like or that you know is not right for you or your life, change it, because my friend, we can change our life. Because at the end of the day, we're the one who created it, so we can create it how we want. Just some housekeeping. Like I said, I'm going to start doing human design readings here soon. And if you're interested in having one done, if you don't even know what human design is, if you're interested, I'll do a whole podcast on that because I could talk about it forever. But yeah, this was just a short episode to tell you guys what was on my mind and to give you a little kick in the booty if you're feeling super stuck. Another quote that I'll say real quick that Sarah Zula said in one of her podcasts: if you are frustrated, it's time to play bigger. Okay? So if you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling stuck, if you're not liking the results you're getting, you have to do something different. You have to put yourself out there. You have to do something that you aren't used to doing. Sorry, one more thing. I feel like we get stuck in thinking that we're one way and that we put our identity in one little box. And anything that we want to do that's outside of that box, we shut ourselves down because we're like, oh, that's not us. We can't do that. You guys, we can be whoever we want to be, and we are meant to be all the things and experiment and not be tied down or put in a box, because at the end of the day, we're infinite. We are limitless, and it's only illusion that we think that we're not. So let's get out of the fucking box. Let's do the damn thing. Let's live our fucking life. And okay, I think I'm done rambling now. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing day. Please subscribe, comment, rate this podcast. It means the world to me, and it helps me out every step of the way. Peace out, friends.